How's it going, guys? I got a short, regular pace TCGO game for you guys today because, honestly, if I speed this up, then this game gets really short. But it was the only decent game I could get with Balloonshop today. I say this because this deck is only a direct counter to one other kind of deck out there, and that is basically any deck that uses special energies. If the other deck doesn't use special energies, 9 out of 10 times I will lose. It has a little bit of a backbone to it, but there's no acceleration to it whatsoever, and this deck will to an extent fall to hammer time, but then again, what deck doesn't? So, in case you guys aren't familiar with what this deck does, it uses the Dragon's Exalted Driftblim's Shadow Steel, its primary attack, which does 50 damage times the number of special energy in your opponent's discard pile. Now, the reason I decided to bring this deck back is because Thundurus is just such a popular thing that's just like, you know what Thundurus does for the first attack right in Knuckle is it lets you bring special energy or regular energy from your discard pile back onto something else. So you can get 2 attachments per turn using Thundurus, and it does a little bit of damage too. So the idea is just to discard special energy so that way you have something to accelerate onto the field, and then you just kind of go to town with plasma energies, prisms, blends, whatever your deck calls for. And that's why this deck is designed to keep those special energies in the discard pile. It's trying to basically hold Thundurus' head underwater long enough for it to just either take out the Thundurus' flat or to just take advantage of the special energy in the discard pile while it's in there. Because only having 3, the fact that it multiplies by 50 for every single one in there is a huge number. I did probably like 600 to a Deoxys earlier, just because there was like 3 plasma energies, I believe a blend, and 2 DCEs. It was pretty nasty, and I was kind of hoping for another matchup like that because I didn't have Fraps on while I was doing a test recording, but honestly, like, that would have been perfect. For now, this will do. The fact that I saw Steel Energy leading out led me to believe that he had Cobalion, and he also had Bled Energies just right off the bat based on what he attached, because it'd be stupid otherwise to put Steel Energy in a pure Landorus-only deck. So I decided to put Cobalion in this deck. It got a nice couple additions from Plasma, Storm, and Freeze. Storm being, you know, the whole Cobalion thing, right? Just edging, acting as an enhanced hammer as the side effect of the attack. That mainly being the only reason you use it. And then Kelstone is nice because you can get said Cobalion out of the active spot. Also gets rid of Laser Bank's effectiveness to an extent. You know, just Kelstone kind of does that. But right now I'm just kind of waiting for him to set down one of those blends if he does have one. I was under the impression that he did, that he would have blends or prisms, because I mean he could be running pure fighting and he could be running pure steel, but I think in order to mediate the fact that he might not hit that energy all the time, he's gonna have blends or prisms in the middle in order to work with that. And it actually turns out that he's running Mewtwo in there as well. So maybe he's got some DCEs in here too. I'm not 100% sure what kind of energy he's actually running. If he's just running pure Fighting, Steel, and DCE. Or he's just running Fighting, Steel, and Blend. And he's just running stuff that benefits from the any energy attachment. And right there we see our first special energy attachment, which happens to be a DCE. Cobalion is adequately prepared for it. I can just go ahead and just attach an energy to Driftblim. That first attack is just any energy, just one of them, and then it just does the thing that it's supposed to, which is, you know, freaking amazing. But I didn't pull an enhanced hammer, which is a little discouraging because I was just going to hammer and then, I don't know, probably go into Driftblim and start attacking immediately. But honestly, it's just like, you know what, I'll just do Righteous Edge, get a little bit of damage off, and then help out Driftblim. I do have 2 in the background, which is nice. I hate it when I only have 1, because then they immediately recognize it as a threat and then go to take it out. But right here, he does get a small opportunity to Hammerhead. I thought he would have been going for the Driftblims, but it turns out he's actually going for the Keldeo on this one just in order to get it, you know, out of the way, so that way I can't do those pivots so easily. Turns out I've already used 2 of my Crushing Hammers as well. I decide the best supporter to use right here is Getsis, just to see what I can come into. It shuffles 3 items into his deck, which is nice, and I decide, you know what, I'm going to try loading up this Keldeo right now since I have that one Driftblim ready to go. But in the meantime, I need to stall for time until I can get special energies in the discard. So I'm waiting for that blend to rear its head, or if he can get his Tornadus back into the active spot and put down another DCE, that's great, because these enhanced hammers go great. You don't even have to flip a coin for them, just as long as it's a special energy, bam, it's gone. But blends or DCEs are mainly what I'm on the lookout for. I'm kind of hoping that he puts them down so that way Driftblim can go to town. And honestly, as long as it's a Plasma Box matchup, it puts his dukes up very nicely. I've had some very favorable matches today. They just, for whatever reason, didn't really record as well as I wanted to. In fact, the quality on this one is not as much as I'd like it to. I still don't really know what's up with my computer, but I will hopefully clear that problem up by the end of the week and then just get back to normal rendering, because I get the feeling this is going to take a long time to render for some stupid reason. Right there, I didn't even have to hammer that away. He just went ahead and discarded a DCE straight. I don't understand why. He could have just manually attached onto Tornadus and then just used a switch or attached a Floatstone. I do see that he has Floatstone in his deck, so I was like, you know what? You could have done that too. The fact that he gets rid of my Floatstone and he also lasered my Cobalion means that I have no choice on this turn but to Skyla for a Floatstone in order to get rid of it. But he actually puts down another DCE, so he did the job for me on the Juniper, and then I can honestly just go for a Floatstone on this one. I think I run 2 or 3 in this deck. Put one on the Keldeo in order to rush in and then retreat, because that is a cool thing to get rid of poison. But before that, I'm going to Enhanced Hammer. And it turns out I'm not actually going to go back into Cobalion. I'm looking for something that I can more or less clean up on, but I think... I think I'm just going back into Cobalion for some strange reason. I think I want to stall for a little bit more time to see if I can get the... if I can get some more energy in the discard pile. I want to see what other kinds of energy he has. That would have been a good opportunity to. The fact, I don't know why I didn't catch her in that bench Landorus with damage on it earlier, because there's 3 in the discard pile. That does 150 plus the 30 is 180, so that's enough to knock him out. I don't know why I didn't. It's kind of whatever, I guess. Puts down an Eviolite just to suppress damage, and honestly, like, I'm just waiting for that last DCE. If he runs 3, he more than likely runs 4, just because he's got Tornadus and he's got Mewtwo going on in the same deck. Right now, what I decide to do is just get rid of his items that are in his hand. I also see he has the DCE in hand, which is amazing. But right now, I do see the opportunity that I saw last turn, and I'm just going to go ahead and catcher up the Landorus and go for the Shadow Steel, which does 150 for 1 energy. It just needs a little bit of prep, but Cobalion and Hammers definitely do help out. It's not a pure Hammer Time deck because I only junk hunt when I desperately need to. But Cobalion just makes sure that there's prior damage in order to make it easier for Drifblim to come in and clean up. And it also does the Enhanced Hammer job for me. So, as you can see, like, it definitely does a lot better against decks with special energy in them. And he's got 3 of the DCEs in the discard pile already. So, I'm not even too worried about this matchup at all. I think, honestly, I can clean up from here. Just because he has no way of getting the DCEs back out from the discard pile. And I can just catcher up stuff that I've previously Righteous Edged. The Landorus is not going to be an option. Cobalion did not die in vain. It definitely helped me clean up a little bit. But I get to get the DCE off of the Tornadus that he attached on that turn, which actually puts my damage output at 200, minus an extra 20 for the Eviolite is 180. And Balloonshop is back and better than ever, as you can see. Even if he puts down an Eviolite, I can honestly just do whatever I want. And if you're looking at how many cards I have in my hand, it's really tempting for him to N out. I'm just now noticing how many cards I had in my hand. I really wanted to catch up Mewtwo to do 400 damage to it, but the game's over at this point. I mean, unless he catchers in my Sableye and actually, no, I had Keldeo and Floatstone. He couldn't have done anything about that. But that was a Drifblim knocking out 3 EXs for 6 prizes. Looking pretty good. That's what Drifblim does in this deck. So, I'm sure I'll have better matchups with this, but for now, that's what I got. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you are more than welcome to leave a like rating, comment, and subscribe and do your thing. I'll do my best to get some videos out as soon as I can figure out what's going on with this thing. But for now, I got this little short one. Oh, I also decided that the giveaway will extend up. I'm going to decide the winners on Saturday, but you have until Thursday to get your entries in. So if you don't know what giveaway I'm talking about, just look back in my channel videos a little bit, and that'll be a thing you can go ahead and go with. Other than that, I don't really think there's anything to talk about, so I'll do my best to get some videos out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.